Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at 15 legend teams for the Open Great League. As always, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like on this video and subscribe. It is free, helps me out a ton, and let's move on to 15 legend teams that you can run now where the Open Great League is going to be back for quite a while as well. We have a lot of Open Great League left in the season, so those teams are proven to be very strong as they got people already early on to legend this season. So let's move in to team number 1. As always as well, we're going to see the Pokemon, we're going to see the player as well who hit Legend. This is actually a rank 1 in the world team here. And we're going to have a team here with the Malamar, the Galarian Weezing, as well as the Diggersby. So like some Pokemon that you might have also from previous seasons, like the Diggersby for example. Also like Malamar has been good quite, for a long time already. Shadow Galarian Weezing of course is a bit more difficult to get, but still a very strong Pokemon. And we see already as well here which kind of Pokemon might be a little bit difficult. Yeah, I don't really think that the Ariados is going to be very common or also that tough then. Like at the end of the day, you're going to be able to have great matchups against basically everything what the opponent has. Yeah, but then again, actually Ariados gets hard-walled by the Weezing in terms of the charge move. So yeah, I guess like that's not the biggest issue. The bigger issue is most likely more Talonflame. Like Talonflame, again though, is also more of a neutral one. I wouldn't say that there's like a big issue for this team at all, to be fair. I think it's a very nice balanced team, and I would like to try it out as well. Tinkaton could be maybe a bit of an issue, but also wouldn't really expect that this is going to be the case. So yeah, this is going to be it for the team number 1. Let's move on to team number 2. We're really going to have here a team from J-Mills who's also hit rank 1 in the world recently, not with this team, but this is their legend team. We're going to have Gliscor double Incinerate, which is an interesting team to try out. And this is like kind of a team that I would put towards like the teams that I say are calculated risk. Basically, you know that you're not going to be able to win against any Bastion or any Carving in this world. But as you're going to encounter them not as frequently, you're most likely going to be okay with this team. Against Pokemon like Azurill, you're still going to have play with Golisopod, you're still going to have Thunder Punch on the Typhlosion if they want to swap into you. That's going to be all fine. But this is going to be a very interesting adaptation to the double Incinerate team that we've seen in previous seasons, where they had Gastron in the lead. Here in this case, we're going to have the Golisopod, which is now the more preferred Water-type Pokemon, thanks to the buff to Aqua Jet recently. So yeah, interesting team here, very interesting. I wonder on how good this team actually going to work out. But also, again, I know about the moves about like Talonflame here. I feel like Brave Bird makes a lot of sense as a closer, especially with the Pokemon that you have here already. You most likely will not be able to save your shields for an Incinerate and Flame Charge version of the Talonflame. So I feel like this is most likely the best way of playing this team and this Pokemon. Next up, again, we are not going to have the craziest weaknesses for this team. I feel like the Marowak is most likely the biggest weakness, like kind of the Mud Slappers, but mainly the Marowak, because the main Mud Slapper currently is going to be Claydol, and Claydol you're going to have at least super effective coverage with both Pangoro as well as Malamar. But we're going to have a team here with Clodsire, Malamar as well as Pangoro. Quite a simple, Poison Double Dark backline that is something that actually has been functioning since the beginning of the game, and it's kind of back, always kind of with like some different Pokemon. Back in the day we had like Umbreon, we had like Starmaniebus, stuff like this, and we had Nidoqueen instead of Clodsire. Just basically the idea behind the team stays the same, just the Pokemon change up a little bit. This is a very solid team here. Again, the worst enemy, I guess, of this team might be the Shadow Marowak, because it can just Mud Slap through everything, because you don't have enough bulk to really take it. Your lead is going to take super effective damage. Malamar is going to be quite neutral. Pangoro is going to outspeed you, but also does take so much damage, so that's going to be most likely the worst possible matchup for this team. But anything else, you're going to be able to deal with quite easily. Funnily enough, this is a team that I really want to try out. We're going to have a team here with like very old school Pokemon and a ferret. We're going to have here Medicham, where I'm not too sure which move that they were running. They could run also still the counter, but I would say that Dynamic Punch Psycho Cut is a cool version to play currently because of the pacing that you have. Ice Punch makes a lot of sense currently. Psychic doesn't really make too much sense at all. We have Ferret as a swap. Ferret is going to have Sucker Punch, Swift, as well as Trailblaze, going to give you coverage against most of the meta, to be fair. Ferret is really on the rise currently. Like, a lot of people are running Ferret for good reason. This Pokemon has a lot of play against the current meta, and is one of the most consistent Pokemon to run. So yeah, very cool Pokemon here for sure. And then in the back we have Carving, which again, we kind of talked a little bit about before. It's going to be an interesting Pokemon to run currently. But again, this team going to have some issues. I guess Grumpig is still okay for the Ferret and the 2-Shield matchup, or also for the Carving and the 2-Shield matchup there as well. like generally for the carving is okay. But yeah, if we want to take a look at Toxapex, we don't really have the best answers for that. And then if we're going to take a look at Tinkaton, that thing can definitely destroy us, having super effective damage against both our lead as well as our Pokemon in the back, and takes resisted damage from Swift, Trail Base, and Sucker Punch. So yeah, Tinkaton is definitely the worst possible Pokemon to encounter for this team, and we can move on to the next team here. And of course, you're not going to see a Tinkaton team here, but I will try to make a Tinkaton team tomorrow, most likely, maybe even before the Great League is going to be around as well, just to try it out a little bit. But yeah, basically you see already which teams are not performing as well against this. That's kind of what I wanted to showcase here as well today. There's going to be a team that is also most likely struggling a tiny bit with Tinkaton, but like not as much as any of the other ones. As you see here, we're going to have the Dragonite, we're going to have the Lapras, we're going to have the Clodsire here. And we're going to have a very interesting legend team here. There's going to be mainly down to Dragonite trying to, I guess, align themselves then afterwards with the Pokemon that they have in the back. So Dragonite kind of wants to win the lead matchup, and then you kind of try to align yourself. Again, I could see actually Tinkaton being a little bit of an issue for this team. Anything else is going to be kind of okay, but the Dragonite kind of has a little bit more play this season, as it's kind of the premier Dragon-type Pokemon to run, the premier, yeah, Dragon Breath user to run as well, as Dragonair got nerfed with Body Slam. Goodra is cool, but then you kind of miss out on like the nice damage output of like a Shadow Dragon Breath user. So yeah, I feel like currently Dragonite is in a really good spot, especially in the 2-shield scenario. I would recommend you to use your shields on the Dragonite here to win those matchups. Yeah, Pokemon here that are difficult, I guess, like Pokemon that can kind of neutral to Dragonite and can break the backline, where we have like Grumpig as well as the Malamar. Next up, I think this is a team that I actually played, but I don't know if I stole this team or not. Could be that I stole this team. I think I stole this team. But we're going to have a team here with Claydol, Credilli, as well as Morpeko. I think I played a similar team, but instead of Morpeko, I had the Pidgeot. That's kind of where I kind of got confused there. Pidgeot actually makes a lot more sense than Morpeko, in my opinion, here, by the way, because Pidgeot is going to allow you to beat the difficult matchups for this team, like the, yeah, lead here, like the Pokemon here, like the Primeape or the Superior. Both of them are going to be very weak to Pidgeot. Pidgeot, a very good Pokemon, by the way. Play your Pidgeot. But as you can see here, yeah, those are going to be the only real weaknesses for this team, and it's a very good team otherwise as well. Again, I feel like Pidgeot makes a bit more sense compared to Morpeko, but it depends on really what you want to run. And that's going to be it for this team. We can move on to the next team here. Team on number 7, we're going to have here a team with a Registeel. Mr. Unun is going to be back here. The Azumarill core together with the Registeel is something that has been around for quite a lot of time. But we are going to have the Annihilate as a Sasop here, as a Shadow variant. I would assume that a lot of times you kind of want to just play out the matchups. I don't think you need to Sasop most of the times, unless like, of course, it's going to be the hardest answer possible. Kind of an issue here for this team could be Clodsire, going to be a bit difficult for Azumarill as well as the older of the Pokemon, to be fair. And then like kind of Ghost type's going to be a bit of an issue. And then of course like the Grumpig Malamar version is going to be a bit of a trickier one, especially the Grumpig, because Grumpig is going to be better against the Azumarill. As you have fighting type coverage against the Registeel. Kind of curious if Registeel can still do it. I kind of wanted to give it a try as well, just to see if it still has some play in the current meta. But yeah, that's going to be a team for you if you want to run a Registeel again. Interesting team here for sure, and we can move on to the next team. Or you're going to have team number 8, Miweedle. This is a rank 1 in the world team here with Golisopod, Credilli, and Claydol. This team is based around the Rock Tomb spam, which also Miweedle side is kind of broken in the current meta, and you see it quite a lot of times. So, which I also would say is Pokemon that can break her Credilli as well as Claydol are going to be mainly the Pokemon that you want to run in the current meta. Pokemon like Golisopod can do actually quite a decent job against both of them, having access to Exeter against the Credilli, having access to the Exeter, or like even here, of course, Archon Jet against the Claydol, going to be very, very nice. And so yeah, this is going to be an interesting team. A few weaknesses, of course, they are going to be, but like they are not going to be that crazy. Drifblim can be very solid, but then again, you have coverage against Drifblim as well on every of your Pokemon, like Golisopod with Shadow Claw, Credilli with Rock Tomb, Claydol with Rock Tomb and Ice Beam. So like there's not really the biggest issues for this team here. Yeah, like this is just a very good team to run. Nothing that really breaks it. Next team, we're going to have a team here from Softolf, and that's going to be one of those teams again that are going to struggle quite a bit against a Pokemon that has not been in the meta before, and of course, this is going to change the stuff here. Tinkaton is going to be a very hard answer to this team, destroying Guslord, destroying kind of Lapras a little bit, as well as definitely destroying the Weezing. So yeah, this is going to be the issue for this team. You're going to have here a Pokemon that kind of destroys the entire team now, which only just got released afterwards. This is a legend team. Bastion going to be a bit of an issue as well. Who plays Bastion? Basically no one. So yeah, this is going to be the main issue. Tinkaton is going to be a bit of a trickier Pokemon to deal with here, and which also kind of showcases again that Tinkaton already has some play in the meta as it destroys most of the current legend teams. Moving on to team number 10, we're going to have here the Credilli. We're going to have the Claydol as well as the Jumpluff, kind of similar to what we saw before. I'm going to skip a little bit faster through the teams. Here you're going to have a triple weakness to Ice, where you're going to see like Pokemon like Ninetales, as well as the Drifblim with the Ice you're going to perform quite decent against. And that's kind of basically it for the team as well. We have like seen Claydol and Credilli together quite often. Very interesting duo there. But we can move on to team number 11. Again, I kind of want to speed through this. This team here is a team that I already showcased on my channel. So, like, if you want to see some gameplay towards this team, I already have a video up on my channel with Shadow Piloswine in the Open Great League, where I tried exactly this team. I tell you everything that you need to know about it. You see a few difficult matchups, especially Ferret, I feel like is a bit tricky. But also, kind of, if you face a Pangoro lead, it's going to be a bit difficult as well for yourself. But yeah, everything you need to know, just watch the video. If you want to try out this team, there are a lot of information that I give in this video. So check that one out, and we can move on to team number 12. We're going to encounter a team again that I tried out on my channel as well. I have Shadow Sableye as a thumbnail for the video, so if you want to take a look at this team as well, have fun with that. Here, Sableye can have Dazzling or the Power Gem, like, depends on kind of what you think you will encounter. I like a lot of times Power Gem currently, but yeah, it depends. The only real issue for this team is Morpeko. If you face Morpeko, it's very difficult. Like, literally, if you face Morpeko in the lead, the game is over already. You lose. Like, there's nothing they can really do to win this battle, I feel like, because your lead is gonna die, your Saysop is gonna die, and your Zerma is gonna die, and all of those kind of get outsped by Morpeko. So yeah, if you face it on the lead, it's kind of a bit of a difficult one, but that's the only real difficult matchup, which is kind of funny. So yeah, I don't know. Team number 13, we're going to have another team with a Morpeko as a legend team. We're going to have a team here with Jumpluff as well as Drapion. And as we have a double weakness to ground on the back and a Pokemon in the lead that's going to be very good against ground type Pokemon, we are looking for a ground type that's going to be good against grass types. And we're going to have here two that we have there, especially the Piloswine going to be a very big issue for this team, but also Clodsire is going to function quite well because those are the ground types that are good against Jumpluff as well, which makes it a very unique core breaker for this team. Anything else going to be fine. I do think this team, generally speaking, is going to be fine. The one issue that I mainly see is the Clodsire, as Piloswine is not very common, but yeah, this is going to be it for team number 13. Again, another interesting legend team with Morpeko, and we can move on to the second to last one. And I don't know if I had it. I think I maybe have a video on this team as well. We're going to have Dugong, Annihilate, and Bastion. I definitely gave it a try. I don't know if I made a video about it. I don't know on how strong this actually going to be. Here you can try to overpower the Pokemon, like the opponent here with the Pokemon they have. Main idea is to try to stay in with the Dugong. I think I tried this team out for sure on the channel. I went really positive with this team, but I had no idea how I did this, so I think that is kind of how it went. Team struggles as well against Gliscor lead, I remember. But yeah, there's definitely a video on my channel as well. Check that one out. I gave you a little bit more insight there for sure, because I actually really went positive with this team, but I just had to figure out why, and it's, I think, mainly because of the positioning with the lead of Dugong and then Bastion in the back. A lot of times people just don't have the answer for both of them, and that's kind of cool. So yeah, interesting team. Again, video is definitely on my channel. Check them out, and we can move on to the final team for today, which is going to be here one that's very similar to what we, I think, seen before in terms of the backline. At least we have like here the Gliscor Jazz in the backline with the Drapion and the lead. Yeah, lead only weak to ground type Pokemon. Saysop, good against ground type Pokemon. Pokemon in the back, good against ground type Pokemon. We have a Saysop that has Shadow Claw, which baits out Pokemon that kind of want to deal with Shadow Claw users, like normal type Pokemon, for example, like a Ferret. We're going to have in the back the Jellicent, which kind of gets covered by the Golisopod. Yeah, it just all makes sense. Like, you have a lead that's going to be able to beat grass type Pokemon. You're going to have a Saysop that's going to be able to bait them out while still beating them as well with Exeter. And then you have a Pokemon in the back that really don't want to face them. So, yeah, this team just makes a lot of sense. Bit of an issue could be also, by the way, here the Morpeko for this team. That is definitely something that I didn't add here, but I should have added there. Otherwise, this team is going to be a very interesting one, and this is going to be also it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, again, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It is free, helped me out a ton. And yeah, check out the videos on the screen if you want some coaching, link down below, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.